Will Heal Conference 2023. Hebrews 12 and 15 says, see to it that no man fails to obtain grace, and that no root of bitterness is causing trouble. Do you love him? He wants to know. Yes. Do you love him? Say so. Tell me, do you love him? Yes. Tell him. Tell him you love him. 'Cause he wants to know. No matter what you go through, he'll be there for you. Purchase your tracks today. No matter what you going through, he'll be there for you. He'll be there when you call him, and he will be there if you trust him. Just call his name, Yahweh. Tell him you love him. He wants to know. Tell me, do you love him? Say so. Tell me, do you love him? 'Cause he wants to know. Tell me, do you love him? Then say so. No matter what you did last night, easy music. You never, ever had a God's sight. He'll be there if you call him, and he will be there if you trust him. Just call on Yahweh. Call on him. You love him. He wants to know. Tell me, do you love him? Then say so. Tell me, do you love him? Will you trust him? Purchase your tracks today. Do you love him? Do you trust him? Will you let him in your life? Do you love him? He wants to know. Tell me, do you love him? Then say so. He wants to know. Do you love him? Do you love him? 'Cause he wants to know. Do you trust him with your life? Are you gonna let the enemy steal your joy? Just let God in your life. Tell me, do you love him? God is watching you. Easy music. Trust him. Believe in him. She will heal. Do you love him? Tell me, do you love him? Tell God. Tell God. Tell me, do you love him? He wants to know every day. Do you trust him? I can feel it in the air. Oh.
Sherry Levine, and I just want to welcome everybody to the space. How is everybody doing today? Can everybody hear? Is everybody's mic unmuted?
Yes.
Hey, everybody in the room. Hey, everybody. This is Sherry Levine, and I'm coming live right now. Live here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we want to welcome you to the She Will Heal conference. And what we're doing right now is we are sharing the love of God. And as y'all know, I do song messages from God. And I'm very thankful to the wonderful speakers that we have here today that's going to be sharing our testimonies. Now, me and Letitia is going to be sharing our testimony on Sunday. And as you all know, tomorrow we're having a pajama party, so you can come into the room, into the space, learn how to publish a book, and then us that are authors, which are every last one of us, you're going to have an opportunity to purchase our books tonight on Amazon. You're going to also be able to purchase our books tomorrow because we're going to have a book signing. So come in your pajamas, your tea, your coffee, and but I'm going to pray to bring us in the room. And for all of you all that are watching, we just want to say thanks to all of you guys. And we have some powerful testimonies to share with you. Dear Heavenly Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we humbly say thank you. We humbly say, God, that we just appreciate everything that you've done for us. And Lord, it is such a privilege, Lord, to share our stories with the world so that they know, Lord, that you exist. For you said that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And Lord, just touch the lives of everybody that is in this conference this weekend. Touch their eyes, their ears, everything, Lord, that pertains to the kingdom. And we just thank you right now. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So everybody, I'm going to first let everybody introduce themselves. You're going to let everybody know who you are. We're going to, it starts at 7:15. Miss Alicia comes on. So when you come on, when the speaker comes on, we come off so that that speaker has the platform. And in your itinerary, everybody that has one, and if you did not get one, I'm sorry. Please check your spam, and I'll make sure if you don't have it, you have it for tomorrow. I'll make sure if you DM us or leave any comments, you can leave comments down here, and we will know that you did not get your PDF version. But I did send out 122 RSVPs yesterday around 7:22 p.m. So we just want to let everybody know, check them filters, check them spams, and then if you didn't get it, I will resubmit it tomorrow. So I'm going to shut my mic off so that I can have Miss Alicia introduce yourself.
Hello. Good afternoon to everyone. It is Knoxville, and I'm Alicia Willis, and I am currently living in Knoxville, Tennessee. I have moved here in 1989. I was adopted by a missionary, and I decided that leaving home, really it was hard, but I had to learn how to cope myself and live here in America. Life was pretty different for me, but my family that I had here, they taught me so much to love this country. Even though I love my own country, I was born there, but the food and everything that we have here is fantastic.
But hold on just a second, because you got to share that in your testimony. I just wanted you to introduce yourself. Don't give them all the goods yet, okay? Now we're going to have Miss Letitia Langston to introduce herself for us, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Letitia Langston Hall, and I am a native of Knoxville, Tennessee. I am a mother of 13 and a grandmother of 9. I just had a grandbaby on yesterday, so I'm super excited. And I do a lot of things. I try to help out a lot in the community, and I can't wait to share my testimony with you guys.
All right. Next up, we're going to have Miss Brenda Burton. Let us know where you are, because you sure ain't in Knoxville, Tennessee.
No, I'm not. Hello, everybody. My name is Brenda Burton. I'm a native of California, but I reside in Alvin, Texas. And I'm married. I have 3 birth children and 1 stepson. And I have like 16 grandchildren and 2 great grands. And I'll be sharing more when I come up to give my testimony.
Without further ado, we are now going to introduce Miss Alicia. We're going to introduce you, Miss Alicia, and now we want you to share your testimony as you have the floor from now until 7:45 to share with us your experience of what it was like living in Belize first. You're not a native of Knoxville or America, so you get to share the story. You published a book, and I'm so excited to have been in part of that adventure. So now, without further ado, we're going to bring you up to share your story.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. As I'm saying, I am Alicia Willis, a mother of 2 daughters, beautiful, wonderful daughters, and I'm so blessed to have them. I'm also a grandmother, by marriage. My daughter had, married and blessed me with a granddaughter also. I am so happy to become one. Um, as I was trying to say earlier, I am currently living here in Knoxville, Tennessee since 1989, and I was probably maybe 11, maybe 12 when I came here, and my family that came to Belize came here as a missionary. My mother was doing some work. At the same time I was down there, I had a little sister that passed away. She was only a year old. We had just celebrated her birthday. And after she passed away, I got the invite to come to the state. I was very happy and excited. And so my mother was down in my country, and they were fighting for my visa to come. So finally I came in 1989. I came here in September the 23rd of 1989. Oh my gosh, it was very cold, let me tell you. I had to bundle up with so much layers of clothes. The food was amazing. I got to learn how to eat the American food here. A lot of the food I didn't like at first, but I started to wind myself into it, as we go. And then a lot of fun stuff happened as I was growing up. I went to school. I liked it. And then in 1991, I went back to Belize to have a reunion with my little sister. And she lived in, Seattle. And I was told she was dead, but then when I met her again, she was not dead. And I was so excited. And at that time, we had, gathered together and chose that the family, her family, and my mom, my adopted mom, wanted to bring my whole entire family to the United States. And to me, oh my gosh, my heart melts so wonderfully because I said to myself, oh, this is wonderful, but I'm taking my baby brother home with me to the States. So I chose to bring my brother Lewis with me. At the time, he was 3 years old, and he had some medical issues that he needed to be treated for. And we did that. And so my sister, Teresa, which she's a little bit younger than me, and her and her parent decided to take my other two brothers that was going to be left at home after I brought my baby brother here. We went to Seattle, and they grew up there. And now we are all grown up. I have our own family, and we are loving it here. My biological mother is still alive, and she's back at home in Belize, living with one of my brothers. But it's been pretty rough, kind of living day by day, going day by day with not even be able to talk or see her, or hug her. But at least we try to tell her, through video chat or a phone call that we love her. And she is so sweet. She turns around and just tells us she loves us back, and that's wonderful. But I wanted to share something else with you guys about my life growing up in Belize. Growing up in Belize was very hard. I didn't have food. I didn't have water. I didn't have electricity. We only had a 1-bedroom house at the time where 7 of us lived. And with that one little bedroom house, we had to deal with what we had to deal with. We provide everyday living, that way. We went out in the back of the yard. There was a little small thing, we used to call it kamal. You cook your food there, and so we would make like tortilla, rice and beans, chicken and salad. On certain days when you have enough money to buy the ingredients, and we'd have a good family meal. Wasn't too bad. But our favorite meal for every day, we would have tortilla and fried egg, cut it up, tomatoes in it with some onions. It was wonderful. But making tortilla, flour tortilla, rice, corn tortilla was one of the main bread that we had. We didn't have bread like you have here in America. So every day we would make that, and out of like 2 eggs, we would split that with 7 of us in the house. That was wonderful, not too bad. But at least we all had a little meal to eat before we went to bed. Um, we didn't have running water, so we would go to the creek to get running water, take it home, boil it, so we can cook our meal. And as you guys would go on YouTube and see how belief culture is, you would see that the outside kitchen is where it's an outdoor kitchen. You would put little brick together, put couple of metals on top, put your pot right there, put some wood underneath it, you make that flame, and your food will cook. Well, I learned how to cook since I was 5. I had no choice. I had to help my mom take care of all the other siblings around the house while Dad was gone to work. Mom would do the laundry. I would help with the little siblings and everything. They loved me. They follow me everywhere I go. But there are times when we didn't have nothing to eat, so we'd all go to bed with nothing to eat. But I had other family members that would try, my friends, close people that live close to me, they always tried to help us provide so we would not go to bed. Sometimes I would go to bed without eating just to make sure that my little siblings would, eat. Oh yeah, let me tell you, when I got on the plane to come here, I was a skinny bone. And now look at me. I've been eating. I'm very nourished properly, and I love it. Um, I I came when I came here. I was very scared getting on the plane for the first time. So I grabbed my adopted father's arm, and he was telling me, hey, it's gonna be all right. And after holding him a few times, looking out the window, looking at the things on the outside, it was beautiful coming. Let me tell you, it was so pretty. I didn't know what to do, but I was scared of heights. I got to learn to like that too. Um, Cleaning the house was one different thing for me here in America. It it changed my life a lot. Um, my adopted mom taught me how to cook American food. It was wonderful food. I'm telling you, the food I learned, I taught them how to cook my own food from my own country. And by the time I fed them, oh my God, they all fell asleep on the couch. Um,
Well, one of the things that I wanted to tap in with you on is at this point when you made it to America, you as you got here and God started to intervene in your life a little bit. Then what I want to kind of hear now and what we want to share with the people is in getting here, your testimony now. You've gotten here. You are a mother now, grandmama, kids
yeah.
grown. But now it's time for you to share where God stepped in that changed your life. Because I want you to not run out of time. Okay. But I want you to share with us your testimony of what God did that made you want to be a part of the She Will Heal movement. And I also want to know the gift that was inside of you that now you are not only an author, but you're a jury maker. So I want you to share with us now um, what had happened to you. You had a situation that happened to you and I want you to share briefly what happened to you and what you were diagnosed with. And then I want you to share how God stepped in because that at this point it's your testimony. And we want the people to be inspired, not just by our life, because we all have a life. We all got a book. You're going to have to read that. But we got to share where God has stepped in and made the most important thing in your life. And that's what pulled me to you. And so now I want you to share with everybody what you have been through and what you shared in your book. Because now that you're here in America, we get that. You hear and it's there. But now we need to know what God did, okay? And now you share with us what God is doing in your life now.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will say this. About 3 years ago, I had a situation that I came out of 2 year marriage. I thought that, I would find another situation. Unfortunately, it did not lied to and same way to put the direction. All involved had infected with certain kinds of diseases. And my faith, I in church. So I came to church and asked God to heal me, not let me live in fear my whole entire. I knew I had to continue to live in because I had two beautiful talents for them. But I am so grateful for God and it shows, taking my life real far and trying to have to tell my story because I wanted to understand no matter what kind of situation you're in or what issues you have. I always remember that God can do what I do is take your situation. Even though I am here, I put myself together in prayer. I take medicine because I want to continue to be sick from everything. Um, I'm very blessed. God gave me a wonderful not that I could really do now. What I have is I make jewelry, necklaces, and I do very people with this kind of gift. I have chosen that use my gifts and share it with other people who love to wear jewelry. And being a jewelry person takes a lot of stress off my mind. And I love and I just want to say that you have to first stop, follow your dream because whatever you have,
Is
don't
something
let
going on
go.
with your microphone, sweetheart? Is something going on with your microphone? Because you're kind of going in and out, and we're not really hearing what you're saying.
The
Say something. I
microphone
just want to test.
is
I
on.
do what, sweetheart?
It's on.
Yeah, it is on, but you're going in and out. You might need to adjust your phone or move it in an area because you can look at you on the screen and you're kind of fading out, and we're not hearing you. You're sounding really muffled.
Is this better?
Yes. I
Okay.
just want to make sure we can hear you, sweetheart, because when you see the screen get a little fuzzy, that means that your connection is not good, okay?
Yes. I want the
Okay.
Lord to when God decides to forgive, you have to ask Him to forgive you for everything that goes on in your life. You have to take it to Him. Take it to Him. He's not and you should never be a cheater. Just let Him know, miracle worker. He will forgive you no matter what it is. Because like He say, you don't have to live through the rest of your life. Um, I just want everybody to follow the dream, do what I want to heart. And now also, whenever you're blessed by certain things, if someone begs you,
You're muffling again. We can't hear you, Alicia.
I don't know what
Um, I don't know what it is either, honey. Because you just keep going in and out. And I just want people to be able to hear you because it's not a clear connection. So I don't know what it is because you see I'm leaning in a little bit because I'm having to hear you a little bit. Um,
mhm.
but see that's a little bit clearer. See, you're not fuzzy now.
Okay, all right. How about now?
Better. Yay.
Anyway, as I was saying, always follow your dream. If you have something on your mind, and you don't know what to do with it, just take it to God and ask Him every day for everything that you want going on in your life, your healing, your sickness, your trouble, your burden. You know, shoot, if you want to get pregnant, tell God you want to get pregnant. You want to get rich, tell God you want to get rich. If you're tired of living the life you live in, tell God to help you through that and move you out of that situation. But for one more thing, I really have to say, women, please, if you're out there and you're dealing with a lot of domestic in your life, don't wait till the last moment to get out of it. Get up and go find help because there are help out there to help you. But don't get in a situation like I did just because someone tell you, oh, don't worry, I love you. Love comes in all different forms. And I'm going to tell you, Men sometimes will tell you that just to get to you. But don't let them lie to you at all because that's how the devil works. So when you want to find a good relationship, don't go by what they say. Ask God, pray to God because only God can lead you to the right man for you. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself in a domestic abuse, a situation where you don't want to be. But find the strength as a woman, fight for yourself, fight for your family, and move on out of there. You can get help. Do not stay in a domestic violence at all because it will help you. And I'm here to tell you what I went through, you don't want to go through. I've been through so much. And now I am here to tell you that I'm finding my healing through God. So always remember that God is always there for you and He will never, never leave you. He will always forgive you for all of your mistakes. And once you get your healing from the mistake that you have done, from the forgiveness, God is going to forgive you. So once He forgives you, it's already done. It's said and done. So put it behind you. Don't go backward. Go forward because your future is very important to you. So now I want you to know that I had written this story, my life story, because I want to be able to help other people out there, women. And once you get my book, you will understand a lot about my whole situation. I cannot tell you everything about my book because you got to buy the book so you can find out the rest of my story. Because by the time you get done reading the first one, I will try to work on the next one because they're going to be another chapter.
Okay, well, then the next thing I want to ask you in reference to your gifting, what is it that you do now? I know you say you make jewelry because you was kind of going in and out the last time, but God has given you a gift to make jewelry. So being from Belize, you custom make the jewelry, correct?
Yes, I do. I thought myself, especially for my daughter, got married, and I made her this beautiful necklace. And when I got done making it, I realized that everyone that is getting married out there could use a pet. Because get something, someone it's a special gift. My mother showed me so much love when she saw that in that she wanted. And I made it. And so everybody is custom made. All you have to do is contact me. My
What I'll do is I'll make sure we have links down because you're going in and out again. And like I say, it becomes frustrating when we can't hear what you're saying. When every time you see that your screen is getting fuzzy, that means we're not hearing you. Okay. Just like, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I just can't hear you. You're fading out a lot. So what I want to do now is, so you make the jewelry. You have published a book. What is the name of your book?
Okay. My book is called Believe It's about me and my four other siblings. My brothers.
Okay.
All came and they
Well, what I'm gonna
told
do is I'm gonna try my best to come back to you because what I want to do is I want to kind of move on a little bit and we're gonna try to get a better connection with you. If I have to let you come and sit on my platform and come sit right here because it's nothing worse than not being able to hear what you say. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn now. We're gonna listen to a couple of song messages from God so we can kind of have a little transition. And then we're going to bring Miss Brenda Burton on here in just a few. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of songs. And that's going to kind of change the dynamic. And then we're going to try to find out what's going on with your... I got to find out what's going on with your thing there. So I want to make sure I get a grip on it because ain't nothing worse, girl, than not knowing what's going on with your music. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in some music. And let's see if we just get this bad boy going here. End of the day, we just want...
Don't let nobody take your dream. Don't let nobody take your dream.
Miss Alicia, can you still hear me?
Nobody take your dream.
Alicia, can you still hear me? the day, the devil's busy because he knows we got something wonderful going on. In our itinerary, Esther is going to be the reading that we're going to be doing for tonight's lesson after Brenda Burton speaks with us tonight and share her testimony. What I wanted you all to know is that with Esther, Esther was a woman who she had to go before the king, which is pretty powerful. Going before a king so that you can save your people. And that's what God is about. And I just want to kind of read this a little bit. You can find out about Esther because some people will more or less come to you and say, well, I heard about Esther, but I don't know where she is. And sometimes there is a book that I have called All the Women in the Bible. And a part of the She Will conference is to let you know that you can heal. I can't wait to share my story with you guys on Sunday. But all the women in the Bible, there's over 450 women in the Bible. And I didn't even know half of these women. As I started to learn about them, it was very empowering to me because we go to church all the time and you don't learn about these women. But the book of Esther, as you know, you go to Esther. And Esther, she was the daughter of Abigail, who's at the end of the day, she was very different. And what I want to share with you is just being able to understand that in today's time, as I have these beautiful women on our platform today, Miss Letitia Langston will be our guest on tomorrow. So tomorrow, Letitia will be, actually on Sunday, Letitia will be here because Letitia and I have both buried children. And it is one of the most hardest thing that you can ever experience. And I would never want anybody to experience that type of pain because it is something that you cannot explain and you really don't want to. And that's just kind of where I am with everything, is understanding that I have a purpose in life and God is doing a thing in my life. And as he does what he does in our lives, we got to understand what our purpose is. So I'm just blessed and honored in what God is doing. And at this time, I am going to bring on Brenda Burton because we're having some technical difficulties for whatever reason, but we don't have to stop. So what God is saying is right now, we're going to bring Brenda Burton on and she is going to come in and share her story with us. And Miss Brenda, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me clear?
Yes, ma'am. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring Miss Brenda Burton on to go ahead and share this amazing story because I met you about, I would say it's been about a year because we was on season 2 of my TV show on Kingdom Purpose TV. And I ran across you, which was such an honor. And I was so blessed by you. And so I'm thankful for what God has done in our life in bringing us together. And so I actually did a song called Say It Till You See It. It was a book jingle that I did for you. And I can remember doing it. And I'm just totally blessed by you. So I am, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring you into the space. And I'm allow you to go ahead and share your testimony with our people.
Okay, thank you. Well, I just want to thank Father God, because without him, I wouldn't be able to share and, my testimony. I wouldn't have a testimony to share. So I just want to thank the Father for all that he's done for me, and also thank Evangelist Sherry for allowing me to be on this platform to share my testimony of being a single mom and raising my children by myself. I'm going to share prior to being a single mom, how I ended up being a single mom. And so I just want to share my story of this was in California, and I met my children's father, and we ended up getting married. But one thing I want to say and share is I don't know if it was a Bible study or if it was a conference, but it was, that's where I had went, and I was seeking God and trying to figure out, what I should do, because I was with this man and we were living together, and I had one child by him and I was pregnant with the other child. And so you guys, I'm telling you, when someone speaks to you and they're a true prophet, you need to take the warning, because I did ask this person about if she prayed for me that the dad of my children that we would get married, and her response was, "No, I'm not." She said, "Because I can sense in my spirit that you're not supposed to marry this man." And so I'm thinking that this lady is like, okay, she can't be hearing from God, because why would she tell me not to marry the father of my children? You know, I'm already pregnant with another one. I've had the first one, and then we're living together, and I want to make it legal. And so she did not pray for me. She prayed that, that I would hear from God, and, and she covered me. And so I go out and I marry this man anyway, because I'm like, she couldn't be hearing from God. So after we got married, I saw a total difference in this man. I mean, it was like night and day. And I was like, wow, what did I get myself into? Well, prior to meeting him, I already had one child, a son, and he was treating my son so nice and stuff. So I'm like, okay, he got to be pretty good, decent man, because he's treating my son like he's his own. And a lot of people wouldn't do that. When you have a child from someone else, they wouldn't be quick to just want to bring that child into their lives and treat them like their son. And so after we got married, I saw a total difference. He ended up treating my son real bad, to the point where I was just just torn up. I ended up allowing my son to go live with his dad while I was in this relationship with this guy. And so I'm just torn up, and I'm telling you, God will heal you, because after we ended up, I'm ending up with this man, and I'm like, oh, now I got to get away, because this is, this lady did hear from God, and I was disobedient. Now I'm going through hell, because when I married him, he ended up losing. He didn't lose his job; he quit his job. So I had to end up getting a job, and before then, I was on welfare. And back then, when you're on welfare, you got money as well as food stamps. And so this, they give you money for the number of kids that you had. So it was pretty good. But I'm like, I can't stay on welfare. There's have to be, there's something I need to get myself together and get a job. And so I ended up getting a job, and we got an apartment. And one thing that happened was, this man, when he quit his job, he started using cocaine, and it was the one that you smoked in the pipe. And so when he started doing that, I ended up like trying to figure out how I'm gonna get away from this man, because he's like, just destroying our lives. Because when I was buying groceries and stuff, putting it in the refrigerator, he would take it out and sell it for drugs. Okay, so that's taking food out of the mouth of my children. He would take the stuff that we bought, and he would sell it. And so, I'm like, I can't keep going through this. I had to make a difference, make a change. And so I'm sharing that, God will heal you in a situation. And, if you're not going through anything, you don't know how God will heal you. And so me and my children, we ended up in the streets because of we didn't have anywhere to go. And so we're looking for a place to go and everything. And I ended up staying with my sister. She allowed me to come in and stay with her for a while, until one of our children got into an argument, and then she decided, well, you got to go. So I'm like, okay, where am I going? Because we haven't found a place yet. So where am I supposed to go? And so I have a girlfriend that I've known since I was we were in junior high school. She met me at a motel, and she paid for me and the children to stay there. And I'm telling you, this person she was a lifesaver to me. You know, I'm just thank God that He allowed me and her to meet and become friends. So we're in the motel, staying there, and I'm like, okay, so my days are numbered. You know, she only paid for a certain amount of days. So what am I going to do after that? So, you know, there's I went to the manager of the motel and I told him my situation. I said, is there anything that you can do? Can I work for you until, you know, you know, can I work for you? And he told me, I don't usually do stuff like that. He said, but I'm going to go ahead and allow you to, you know, work for me so you can stay here. And so you're talking about favor from God, because like I said, he said he don't do things like that, but he ended up allowing me to do it. And so I stayed there, and the job that I was on, they end up closing down. So here I am without a job. So I'm trying to find out, where are we going to go, Lord? You know, where are we going to go? You know, I don't have any money right now because the job that I had, it closed down. So while I was in the motel, I was searching places to go, you know, like shelters and everything like that. And I ended up finding this place that took in families off the street. So we're in the process of moving into that shelter. They ended up renting a motel for us until we were able to move into the shelter. And so I'm just like, thank you, Lord, because I'm like, you know, I'm trying to take care of these kids, and you know, we needed somewhere to go. So in the process of moving there, I did end up getting another job. And so I was back, you know, working, and had to leave the kids there at the shelter while I go to work. And so they ended up getting in trouble and everything. But I was, you know, they didn't do anything, you know, because they would, you know, warn you if you know, you was having any issue, they would put you out. But thank God I had favor, and, you know, I didn't get put out of the shelter. So one day I was coming to the shelter from work, and the administrator called me into the office, and he asked me, I'm thinking, oh Lord, what did my kids do? I said, am I going to get put out? Because I'm like, Father, we don't have anywhere to go, you know, until I can find a place. So I'm all of this stuff going in my mind and everything. And I'm like, so I'm just going in there and see what he wanted. And so he told me, he said, I have some news for you. And I'm like, okay. And so he said, there's some people going around to shelters, different shelters, and they're looking for people that they're looking for people that they can help. And I gave them your name because I said, well, I see this woman, she's up going to work, and she's, you know, she's taking care of her children. And so he said, I gave them your name. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, I could just cry, because I'm like, whoo, I'm just so excited about what just happened. And let me tell you something. When I was going through, I've heard someone say, I don't remember who it was, that can you help anybody while you're going through? If you're going through something, do you just sit there, and do you just go through and get depressed and everything, or can you help somebody while you're going through? And I was taking people to church. When I was in the shelter, I was taking people to church with me. I was telling them, hey, come on, let's go to church, you know, let's get the word, you know, and I'm telling you, you'll feel better. And so all of this, God saw this. And I don't want to cry because, you know, I'm just thinking about the goodness of God. And when she said, when Evangelist Sherry said she will heal, I'm telling you, this right here, God did heal me through all of this. And so I'm going to church, and one of my prayers was, Father, if you bless me to get a place, I will start Bible study in my home. And so he heard my prayer, and he brought those people in. Not only did those people, and I call them angels sent by God, because not only did those people find me a 2-bedroom apartment, they also furnished the apartment. They serviced my car to make sure that I had decent, running transportation to go get back and forth to work. They filled up my cabinets. They filled up my refrigerator. And they also put rent aside for 1 month just in case something happened and I would have reserve rent. So all of this going on, and I'm like, oh my God, and let me tell you, when I did get that apartment, I did start my Bible study because I would not tell God anything that I would not do. And so I did start my Bible study, and I was like thanking God for all the things that he's done for me and how he just blessed me to get out of that situation. And I'm telling you, ladies, those that are out there and you're facing maybe a similar situation where you're raising your children by yourself, God will take care of you. I want to read this scripture in Psalms 68 and 68:5. In the A part, it says, "A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows is God in his holy dwelling." And 1 Peter 3:12 says, "For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their prayers." And Psalms 27 said, For my father, if my father or my mother forsake me, the Lord will take me in. And so these are scriptures that I stood on, because even though I was going through things in California, my family was there. So, and all of the stuff that I was going through, I did it, I was going through it by myself. And so when I get to the apartment, now I'm thinking, okay, so I'm here at the apartment. I need to get a divorce because I was still married to this man. And so I was talking to the Lord, and I said, Father, I don't know where to go, what to do, how to do this. I don't even know if I have the money to do it. And so while I'm talking to God, I kid you not, while I'm talking to God, a knock came on my door. It was one of my neighbors. And we were talking and everything, and I was sharing with her what I was going through, and that I said, I need to get a divorce, but I don't know how to do this. And so she told me, she said, wait a minute. She said, I've gone through the same situation that you've been through. She said, I can help you with this. And so she gave me information, you all, to go and do my own paperwork and get my, divorce. And I ended up being able to get a divorce. And I'm telling you, because that was not supposed to be in that situation anyway. So God blessed me and opened that door for me. And so I told the Lord, I said, Father, and I said, I'm tired of messing up. I'm tired of just, messing up with men and everything like that. I'm not gonna talk to anybody until you bring the right man in my life. It took 11 years. But
How many years? How many years?
11.
Ooh,
11
that's a long
years.
time.
I was celibate. I was 11 years. And
there's a lot of people out there now. I'm gonna help somebody with the She Will Heal. Now there's a lot of people that will say 11 years. Nobody touched you. You didn't get intimate with nobody.
No.
You trusted God and you waited.
Yes,
so there is a blessing in waiting, and I can't wait till you reveal it, girl. Please. Oh Lord.
So when I for that 11 years, and I got this job working at a grocery store, because I always wanted to work at a grocery store. And lo and behold, who steps in? People will say my Boaz. because I was not looking for anybody. This man walked over to me and introduced himself, and he told me that he saw me from a distance and that he just wanted to talk to me. And so I'm like, okay. So I ended up talking to him and stuff. I wasn't thinking about getting married or anything because I'm like, I'm not going through that anymore. I'm just, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I don't know where this guy is coming from, and I'm not trying to trip like that anymore. And so it took, we were talking and stuff, and I'm telling you, ladies, there are men out there that are gentlemen. They do not just want to jump in the bed the first time they take you out. This man didn't do anything. He didn't even kiss me. He was a gentleman. He treated me like a queen, Queen Esther. He treated me so good. And so we ended up getting married, and he decided he wanted to move back to his hometown, which is Texas. That's how I ended up here in Texas. And so while I was here, I met this wonderful, beautiful woman of God by the name of Cassandra Scott, who's now my pastor. But I met her, and I'm like, oh my God, I said, this woman is something else. She has a prayer line called CSM International Prayer Line, which is Monday through Friday. It starts at 5:50 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I was on this line and I was listening and stuff. They pray, and then they come up and someone brings a word, and I'm talking about, I was just getting full. So after that, I ended up joining her church. And when I joined the church, she and another lady named Dr. Merle Ray decided they wanted to do a class called Birth Your Brilliance. And so I decided, I said, okay, Birth Your Brilliance, I'm going to go ahead and get into that class. Well, I didn't have the money to get in there. And I said, Father, do you want me to get into this class? I said, because this sounds interesting. And they was talking about they're going to help you to birth out the gift that God has put in you. So I'm like, I want to get into this class. I got the money to get into that class. And so from that class, I ended up writing my first book, which you spoke on, Say It Till You See It. And then after I wrote that book, the Father told me, okay, so now I want you to tell your testimony. I want you to share your testimony. So the second book that I wrote is called He's a Father to the Fatherless. And that's the book that I tell about my testimony. I share with where I came from to where I am today, how God has blessed me. And I'm totally healed from that situation of what I went through. I can share with the people, women, and my heart's desire is to share with women of like situations. And I do have a book called He's a Father to the Fatherless that you could purchase, and it tells you about my life, and it also has in there scriptures, and it has where you can write your scriptures down and stand on the word and trust God to whatever situation you're going through, that he would open up that door for you, and so also I ended up in this class, taking the Birth Your Brilliance class. I ended up also, I'm a songwriter. So I wrote, I have like 25, 30 songs that I've written. And the last year, I was able to actually get one of my CDs recorded. And it's called Holies of Holies. And so from
and I got it, and I love it, girl. I plays it, honey. I plays it.
So that's my testimony. And like Alicia said, if you want to hear more or know more, you got to purchase the book. So you got to purchase the book.
You want to know more? Yeah. This is so powerful to me. So how many books total have you written?
I've written 4 books. I'm on my fifth book right now. So, but I have four books. One is the Say It To Be Said. He's a father to the fatherless, jealous sisters, and I did mystery called His Dark Side.
Now, the jealous sisters, give us a little insight on this jealous sisters. Because, see, we living in a world today where women are not healed because of jealousy, envy, strife with one another. And so many other nationalities come to America. We got this beautiful woman right here that's right here from Belize, went through hell and back over there, came to America, and...
You're on mute. You're on mute. We can't hear you, Sherry.
I'm sorry. The songs, the songs that we have out today don't make you want to fall in love. Songs that are out today is as if it's drawing people to not want to be together or in love. And what blesses me is that you waited 11 years. So it is true in waiting. So many women, we fall short and we give in, and then the situation changes. Like, Lord, I've been waiting for 5 years, and then this man comes. And then you give in. It's like at some point you give in because somebody done told you that little devil that be on the shoulder. You know, I tell people there's an angel and there's a devil. And he's going back and forth. And he's going to tell you, well, you're going to have to test the water. How you know he going to be what you like? You know, and sometimes we start tricking ourselves into thinking that God don't know what we need. We think we need, we know what we need, or we going to put God's preference aside because of what we think we need. And that is what's so powerful. Miss Letitia, you know, as we're sharing this conversation about healing, and you're married yourself, how long have you and your husband been married? I know our testimonies that we're talking about Sunday is one thing, but I like to bring us in and dialogue together as we all talk. But you being married, how long have you been married?
We've been married
8 years. Look at God. And see, in being married and having someone that loves you, was you in a situation where you waited also when you met your husband?
I had my kids are about previously, and so I got four with one man and I got with another. And so I was like, you know, once I got out the relationship with them, I just kind of focused on my family. And like you said, once God see you that first, you know, he said through my marriage. All my friends got married. I ain't me. I don't want to get. But when you know you get the right person, it's amazing.
It's amazing. And it's a part of your healing. It's like through what God is saying, I'm divorced and I went through domestic violence. And so it damages you mentally and emotionally. And it has to become like, a lot of times we leave a relationship to heal to get to another one. We ain't healed. We just jump into another one. And we think that covers up the pain. And so, Alicia, like with yourself, raising a daughter, and now she's grown. And one thing that blessed me about your daughter is I want you to share your daughter's journey as far as she did it right. Now, a lot of us, we had kids out of wedlock. You know, we kind of lost the dream somewhere in high school. We just gave it up. Like, okay, God, I know what I've been learning all these years, but he fine. You know, he promised me a ring. He promised me a life, you know, and he wasn't the king, because the king would have never wanted me to devalue myself. He would have never wanted me to give myself to him. And so that's in our healing. So with your daughter, Alicia, tell how your daughter just got recently married, right?
Yes.
Okay, but so her journey was, what advice did you give your daughter?
I have given my daughter the best advice, and I'm very blessed that she followed all of my instructions. Yes, I know that I had tried to, you know, follow the same role model as myself, but
right.
God gave me the energy to tell my daughter, you know, to wait till marriage, and she did. I told her she had to go through high school and everything else, do elementary first, go through high school, graduate, go to college, and then when you get yourself in financial stable status so you can be independent of yourself, you don't have to worry about no man taking care of you then.
So, honey, she watched you, did she, girl? But one thing that blessed me, though, in your marriage, though, because you had your children in marriage, you didn't have them out of wedlock.
I went straight out of high school, yes. I got married to a man that, I thought that was for me.
Right.
Well, the thing was, a friend of mine introduced me to him, and I had, I had put myself to where I was the one working towards our marriage. I worked
So y'all
hard.
roles reversed. So you became the man and he became the woman.
Pretty much, And but the thing was, we worked together as we were raising our child,
Right.
which she is now. I'm a stepmom, and I'm
Oh, we're gonna reveal that here in a minute. So in you having your daughter, you was married, so you wasn't out of wedlock, so you passed on a good gene and value to your daughter.
right.
And then in her going to school, she graduates college,
Mhm.
still hadn't been with anybody. And then she gets in college and now she knows who she is as
She
a
found
person.
herself.
She found her. She found a career.
Yes.
And then he found her in her finding her.
Yes.
That's powerful. So now
They fell in love.
they fell in love.
Yes, and they stuck together. I mean, they were together like a peas in a pod, and they love each other. And I'm gonna be honest with you.
He did not make her give it up, did he?
No, not at all. He really was waiting for her for the right time for everything, and he fell in love with her. He respected her. He loved her as much as you respected me.
Wow.
And when I met him the first time, I knew that God was telling me something. And I told this guy, "You are going to be my son-in-law."
Wow.
And just the first moment, he was like, "What? You trying to rush it?" I was like, "No." I said, in my heart, I can feel it. And
Right.
I know you're going to be my son-in-law.
Well, as a mother, you valued a man that valued your daughter. First of all, because a lot of times, daughters don't have mothers. Like, we make our mistakes, and we want our children to not make the same mistakes that we made.
Right.
And so, in talking to your kids and valuing who you are as a person, you instilled that in her to where she fell in love before the sex. And sometimes the sex is what makes people fall in love, and they think that's love, and it's not, because a king will wait. I was in a situation where I thought I was in love with someone, and we was doing so good as long as we didn't do nothing. And the moment we came together, you feel me? And it happened. Because that little voice over here on that side said, well, you need to test the waters. You getting older now. You don't know if you're going to be satisfied, if he the one. Like, it's like the devil will learn how to play tricks on you. So in this season, those of you all out there, that you're in your season where you're dating, or you're in this season where you have a man has found some favor on you. But is he bringing you out of your purpose? Is he bringing you out of your walk with God? Is he saying y'all need to go get a hotel and be together? Or can he be like Wesley Snipes and Angela Bassett and go to bed with your clothes on and just hold me all night? You know what I'm saying? Like, where them men at? Because I'm like, I want a Wesley Snipes man that'll say, okay, we had a good time. We had enjoyed. Look at that. Look at Brenda and Letitia's background. See, that's the house I want right there. That way when we go and sit on the piano and we not married, you not trying to take me in the bedroom. You going to value who I am, and then you're going to hold me, because you're going to understand that at our age, I need to be held. I need to emotionally connect with you. We need to hold hands, because you don't see that hardly anymore. You don't see people hold hands. You don't see couples cuddling up. Like, it's like music has totally changed how we see relationships. Everything is so exposed. Everything you wear is so exposed. And so I'm blessed that Alicia, your daughter, learned from you. And then she valued who she was. And then she went to college, graduated, and him and her were dating. He waited. Then he proposed. Now they're married. And now the good news is, now that they're married, now what's coming now?
I am going to be a really happy grandmama.
Grandmama. And so to see somebody.
I love my granddaughter.
Yes, because she already had a stepdaughter through the marriage. But what happens is, when you see someone do it right, I value relationships. I know several married couples that they got married in high school and they're still together. They had their kids together and they're still together. And you can envy that a little bit, because you will lie if you say you don't. Like, that is something. I mean, when I look at what God wants for me, he's going to always put an example before you. And so I honor marriages where people stay together and be together, whether it's the first marriage, second marriage, third marriage. But what happens is in your healing, that person will wait on you. That person will give you the value, time, and space that you need to grow, to understand who you are as a person, and also to understand your worth. Miss Brenda, we're going to go into a song message from God. I want to, I did a jingle to your song called Say It Till You See It. And that's what I used to do a whole lot of times, was I would bring forth, whenever my speakers or my authors would come on my show, then what I would do was God would give me this vision to take the songs and turn them into song messages from God. So a lot of times we would be talking, we would be displaying, because we close, like me and Letitia are family. We're family. And then for you, Brenda, to talk about Texas, that's where my son is. And I'm like, Lord, in this season, I'm asking you for greater. I'm asking you for elevation. I don't know where you're going to take me, because I don't think I'm going to be in Knoxville forever. I feel that at some point I have outgrown the level of where I need to be. So I need to step out on faith so that other people can learn who I am. Because so many times people will say, well, I don't get any support. Because a lot of y'all that have dreams and visions right now, you lie dormant with those dreams and visions because you're around people that don't elevate you. So you're around people that say, well, why are you in this city? Or this city ain't gonna do nothing, or you ain't gonna make it here, and yada yada yada. And then the first thing someone will say to you when you're trying to get support, or you're trying to follow your vision and your dreams, what I don't like is for someone to say, well, they didn't support Jesus in his time.
Wow.
And what I get from that is, if you know well enough to know what they did to Jesus, because that's allowing me to know when you have discernment, you got to pay attention to things that people say. Because like I said, there's a devil and there's an angel, and the angel's going to always elevate you, and the devil's going to always make you doubt. Because anytime you doubt and fear enters, Jesus has left the building. And that's something I want y'all to understand today. If you doubt it, if you fear it, if you question it, you don't believe it, Jesus is not in it. He is grieving for you at this point, because he can't enter in that. He cannot enter in doubt. He cannot enter in fear. You can have all the visions and dreams you want, but if you're scared, he ain't in it. If you're scared to get on a plane, go fly where you need to go to save souls, it's not going to happen. He's not going to allow you to grow and elevate, because you're allowing this demon right here to make you lie dormant. So I tell people, when you tell me that Jesus wasn't respected in his hometown, what that says to me about you is that you have the power and you denied it. It says in 2 Timothy 3 that people will have a form of godliness, but deny the power, and from such people turn away. So I say, go read 2 Timothy 3 so you can learn who you need to turn away from, because your discernment is going to change and your mindset's going to change, because God's going to, as you empty, he's going to fill your vessel back up with some people that's going to see your gift. They're going to see way beyond what you wear. This conference wasn't about us dressing up and bling bling and everybody trying to be something we not. Because in healing, you start to learn. I was idling clothes. I was idling shoes. I was spending money on stuff I didn't have no business spending on, because if you gave it all back to me, I sure wouldn't buy them shoes that I bought that I don't even know where they at now. I done gave them away. Somebody bought them for $2 while I paid $125. You see what I'm saying? So that as soon as you buy them, they lose value. So I tell people, don't run on, well, Jesus, they didn't support Jesus, because see, those people perished for the lack of knowledge. So what's going to be your excuse? Are you going to perish for the lack of knowledge because someone that you know in your hometown got a light on them, got favor on them, and now you envious and jealous of the favor, and that means you jealous of God. So God can't say you can't serve two masters. So you're going to either love them or you're going to hate them. So I'm getting ready to play this song right now that is called Say It Till You See It. And it just totally blesses me when we do these song messages from God. And you guys, we're going to be right back to continue this conversation. You do not want to miss it.
You gotta say it till you see it. Yes, this is going out to Brenda Burton.
And your book, Say It Till You See It. He is the father to the fatherless and jealous sisters.
Hey, don't be jealous, sister. Don't be jealous of me. He is the father to the fatherless. So say it till you see it. Hey. Sunday I was happy. Miss my kid, me, hey, you still And fasting this hard feeling. Trouble, peace, but certain things. It's Sabbath, and I thank you for another day. I miss my don't get frustrated on the world and the choices they make. Don't get frustrated. Just get it done. Just let go. Hey, let go. And just give it to God. Just let go. And don't get frustrated. No, frustrated. Don't let it get you frustrated. You miss your blessing. Hey. So message to tell you. You better know who you're running with. Who's next to you? God wants to know who's next to you. If it's not him, who's next to you? Somebody lying, who's next to you? Somebody crying, who's next to you? Can you trust if God says next to you? Oh, everybody. Oh, yeah. Everybody's got it down. Only one made song. Yeah. Problems are a part of life. Situations are not going away. Problems everybody's got. Yes, only one makes out. Jesus. Problem. Woke me up, started me on my way. Gotta have no drama, no drama. To my way, so gotta use grace, gotta use grace. Gotta use grace, gotta use grace. Putting me on my way. Nobody can tell me you don't believe me. Pick up your Bible. You gotta use grace, gotta use grace. We are not promised tomorrow. Gotta go tell somebody. Gotta go tell somebody that I love. Yes. 'Cause we ain't promised tomorrow. We ain't promised tomorrow. Hey. Promises of the world. Oh, we keep fighting. We keep crying. Yeah.
Hey y'all, I just love so messages from God. We be over here jamming. She be in the studio all the time when I'm in here recording them, and it's so amazing. So the say it, the see it. I love that song. Everybody hear it. They be like, "Girl, where the rest of it?" I'm like, I'm working on it, y'all. So, because for a while, for a whole year, God had me doing 58-second snippets. It's like 240 something snippets. And God was giving me a message every day as I was continuing to heal and was dealing with some things in my life. He said, there's a lot of people talking, everybody talking, but you are a psalmist. And so I'm going to give you a word and I'll have you sing it. And so Letitia will tell you, honey, here in Knoxville, Tennessee, several events that they call me and call on my gift. And I love to sing. And so here recently, I have been doing what's called Song Messages of God. And instead of being stuck on one song for 4 minutes, I can take 4 minutes and do 4 songs. But it's because God wants you to get the message. He say, get to the point. The verses lead up to the chorus. The chorus is always the main objective of the song. That's going to always be the main objective, what you repeat over and over and over. So God said, I know you sing and you write songs and all that, but I'm going to have you do a new thing. And I'm going to have you focus on the choruses only, because that's what I need in people's spirits. And so if you go to my YouTube channel, which is Sherry Levon Music Channel, it's going to have all kinds of songs on there because it's going to be a message for you out there. And so I'm just blessed that he uses me to do that. And so Miss Alicia, as we had left off, because Miss Letitia, now one thing I want to say before we're going to bring Letitia back into the conversation. Now, being here in Knoxville, Tennessee and all the events, what has helped you the most? You and I have lost kids and we get to share that testimony on Sunday. So you guys, please make sure you don't miss Sunday, because Sunday is going to be deep. I'm going to bring the word. It'll be Sunday, so I'll be dressed up. That's when God told me dress up and go live and sing live. But I bring a wonderful word called the root of my pain on Sunday. And what God is wanting us to know is, Alicia, share with us what it means to you to have a sisterhood. Because there's a group that you're part of that they meet every month. And I would like for you to share that group that allows you to network with other women. They go out to eat at different restaurants every month. I'm joining this month. I'm going to be joining, so I'll be a part of the crew in February. And I'm going to get my girl involved. That way she going to come and be a part of it too. So share with everybody what it's like to be in a network as we're healing and she will heal and people are watching you, because you'll be sharing more about the forgiveness walk you in, because everybody don't understand forgiveness. You know, a lot of people rather stay in unforgiveness. But what I try to share with people is the people that don't forgive be the ones that don't make it in. And the ones that are the ones that hurt your loved ones, and they get a chance to get it right, they're going to be the ones make it in, and you're going to be stuck mad and not get to see your loved one again. And the one that harmed them will be the one to see them again. And no matter how you see that, God is saying you need to see it. So Letitia, share what it's like to be a part of a sisterhood.
Yes, I'm a part of the Brenda Girl Club. As Sherry said, we go to yeah, we go to group up or whatever. We go. We find different friends to go eat. We just talk about things that work, family. You know, we have a diversity of options. And doing girls are worth color wise, not at the same background, but just to be a part, I can express myself with them.
Your audio's going in and out a little bit. Let me see here. Your audio's going in and out a little bit. Okay, you good? I got you. Okay.
And so just to be a part of a group, you can express yourself, and nobody looks on you. You know, whatever you listen to this group. So nobody goes and say, oh, you know, Brenda said, whatever we discuss a sisterhood.
That's right.
And so every morning, we have a little text, everybody shares. You know, if you just thinking, hey, sister, have a good week. Have a good day. That's a good thing. That quite often, especially being African American.
Right. So they meet every month. And what's it called again?
Beautiful brown girls.
Beautiful brown girls. Now, one thing I did learn about the beautiful brown girls, there are chapters all over. So this is not just a Knoxville group.
We are the chapter.
So see, I'm about to be a part of the Knoxville Chattanooga. Because see, one thing about 2023, you're going to have to step out of the old and you're going to step into the new. And I want to share this scripture with everybody as we are winding down. We're at the last 30 minutes of the first day of the conference, this is testimony time. So y'all, this is not, we ain't on here shouting and hollering and faking. and trying to act like something here that ain't. We bringing the healing and the word and the testimonies. It's the testimonies that's gonna change people's life. We can get on here. I done heard every Bible story. I know this thing backwards and frontward, but it still didn't help me heal. God is saying today, it's the testimonies that's gonna help you heal, because what you read is what you read, but you got to have evidence. See, we live in a world today where we do have to walk by faith and not by sight, but by seeing other people go through things and how God has delivered them from them, no matter what it is you think you read, and you still got to have a revelation of something. So in today's time, God is saying you got to write it down and make it plain. You're going to have to understand, if it's not written, it can't come to pass. The Bible is written, which is why we see things come to pass. So if you have a vision, people say do vision boards. It's so important for you to do one. The house you want to live in, like that living room right there, I'm going to be taking this virtual background off this StreamYard, and I'm going to put this on the thing, because I really want a living room like that with a piano, because when I grew up, we had a piano growing up. And so that stone wall, as you can see back here, now see that wall right there, you see how my vision come into play a little bit, because I got a little rock wall right here. Y'all see my little wall? And y'all see y'all little wall right there. See, I'm 1/4 there. You know what I'm saying? No, I was kidding. But God is saying in today's time, he wants us to understand the reading of his word first, but so also understand the truth of it. And I tell people, if you read 2 Timothy 3, and I read this to people because a lot of times you can tell people to go read something and they don't read it. And they go by what the pastor say. God says we're in a season that you got to get off repeat. I want all y'all to say get off repeat.
Get off repeat.
Y'all can take y'all's mics off. Y'all is muted. Y'all can y'all keep them on. Yeah, everybody say at the end of the day, get off repeat.
Get off repeat.
Get off repeat.
Because that's what we put in the atmosphere. Because God says, let's say the story of the if we say the story of Martha and Mary. Okay. Everybody and their grandmama know Martha and Mary. Jesus came into the land. Mary prayed. Martha still up being busy. She tells Jesus to tell Mary to help her clean, and Jesus tells her to sit down and to receive. Okay, God says, is that all you know? Because you've just repeated what the pastor said. The pastor done read that. Okay, the pastor reads scriptures, not chapters. Okay, it's up to us to read the chapters, to get it in us. But we can hear the word. It gives us the path where to go, because that's what God gave him. But once God gave it to him and he gave it to us, he needs to know, what did God give to you that you bring him back to that pastor? See, it's not helping the pastor that you at the altar 52 times out of the year. It's 52 Sundays a year. If you at the altar every Sunday, as a pastor, I wouldn't feel I'm doing anything, because you got the power to bring blessings to your life. You are the church, not the building. So God is saying in 2 Timothy 3, I want y'all to listen. As I ask God, I say, God, where in the Bible can you lead me to leave people alone? You tell me to love people. You say love people as I love myself. You never tell me in the Bible to love myself. And any of y'all can go to the Bible right now. And the Bible never tells you to love yourself, because you're supposed to already love yourself. The love you have for yourself is what you draw over to people. So the way people treat you is because that's what they feel about themselves. That's that little devil and that little angel. Sometimes I look at people and I just be I hear the devil and I hear the angel, but they ain't listening to the angel. They listening to the devil. So I be the one say, listen, don't bring that to me. Can we not talk about that right now? Like, I ain't got no problem shutting you down, because I know that is not of God. God is not going to fill my ear with gossip. God is not going to do that. He's not going to fill my ear with doubt and fear. Tell me don't do this. That's not what God's going to say. And also, God ain't going to tell your visions and dreams to somebody else and he ain't revealed it to you. So stop being so easily persuaded that everybody and their grandmama know your life. Oh, God, honey, God done gave me a revelation about your life. Okay, tell me what God done told you, because it should be a confirmation to me. It shouldn't be nothing new. It shouldn't be, oh, well, then God done told you I'm gonna go out here and buy 5 cars. When did he tell you that? Because he sure ain't told me, because I can't even pay for the one I got. Okay. God is saying that wasn't for me. I didn't tell that person that. I'm not going to reveal you to somebody else, and I didn't reveal it to you first. Everything is a confirmation. So God says in today's reading, as we tap in, I'm going to read a little bit about Esther. And what I'm going to read, it's up to us to go read Esther. But I'm going to give you a synopsis about Esther so that you know about her. But God said in 2 Timothy 3, this is what he's saying. When I go to the 3rd chapter, it says, but mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous. They will be without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people. See, God done already gave you a revelation on what to do. You sitting around trying to hold on to people that you say are not supporters, but they not supposed to if they fit this description. God told me that when I read this, faces were going to appear. And God, behold, they did. When he said people will be lovers of themselves, I saw the people that just love themselves. They ain't got no problem asking you for stuff, but never give you anything. So God said, first of all, you got so tired of them asking you that you started lying. I said, well, when did I start lying, God? He said, because they'll come to you and say, Sherry, you got $20. The first thing you say is no. And wonder why you broke Friday. Because you just spoke broke. Because you should have told the truth and said, yeah, I got $20. Because then they're going to say, well, can I borrow 10? Because they don't never want what they ask for, what they think you got. They're going to say, well, Sherry, you got $20. I'm like, yeah, I got $20. See, God said stop lying, y'all. If you're going to heal, you're going to go to another level, be in your truth all the time. So when someone asks you, you got $20? Yes. Well, I was just trying to wonder if I can borrow 10 because, girl, my light bill, first of all, they don't cut you the lights off over $10. Okay, that's the devil talking. They're not going to cut your lights off, baby, over $10. And if that's the case, you go down to your church, honey, and get your little $10 check from your church. Because if you tired, then they should have no problem giving you $10 to keep your lights on. If you kingdom. But they're not going to cut your lights off over 20. So God says your hearing discernment, you're going to have to wake up. Because see, what you do instead of hearing discernment, to know that they're not telling the truth, you just lie yourself. So now both of y'all lying. They lying what they need the $20 for. And you lying that you ain't got it. So you got two liars and wonder why that person won't get delivered from lying and from stealing or whatever else they doing. Because you just entered into a lie with them. That's good, ain't it? So from now on, when they say, you got $20, be like, yeah. You got $50? Yeah, because the higher they go, I'm like, I'm not a hundredaire. I want to be a millionaire. And the only way you're going to change your status and your mindset is you got to agree with what you got. Girl, you got $1,000. Yes. Well, girl, I was trying to find out if I can borrow 200. No. God says there's nothing wrong with saying no because, first of all, if God is their source, I want to be the lender and not the borrower. So anything you ask me for, I don't want it back. So if I need it back, you don't need it. God didn't tell you to ask me. Because if he told you to ask me, I got it. And I ain't going to want it back. Does that make any sense to y'all? If he says I'm the lender and not the borrower, then should nobody be borrowing nothing from me. They should be able to ask me for it. And if God sent them to me, I'm going to give it to them and I'm not going to want it back. I don't take nobody to lunch and then 2 weeks later say, now girl, you know you owe me $14 when I took you out to Old Charlie's. But you invited me. I understand because you didn't have the money right then, but I need you to pay me back. No. When I invite you, if I invite you to lunch, I'm paying for it. But we got some people that invite you to lunch and they don't know that etiquette. They don't know that when you invited me to come, you was inviting me and paying for it. Now, that's different if you say, girl, you want to meet me at Old Charlie's? That's separate tickets. Do you hear me? For y'all that's out there, thumbs up because they cracking up. If you say, meet me at Old Charlie's, that's 2 tickets. But if you say, girl, I want to invite you to have lunch with me, that's 1 ticket. So God is saying we got to heal each other. We got to learn that if he says that people in the last days, he said they will be lovers of money. God already showed me the people that love money. They could care less about tithing. They don't fast. They don't wait on God. They just money. Go. Go. But then be the first one, the 3rd week in the month, ain't got no gas. And you like, but didn't you just have $1,500? Yeah, they did. But they didn't take in any account of sowing no seeds into nobody, because if they would have sowed a seed in nobody, the 1,500 would have never ran out. But people don't give. People don't sow. People don't love. They say they love, but they really don't. You got ministers and pastors, they say they love you, but they really don't. Because you know why? They don't sow into you. You can say, well, maybe there's a reason why they don't sow. They don't have to sow into you individually, but they can serve into your purpose. If you say, I'm a singer and I want to go into the studio, well, then you ain't got to put no money in my hand. But how come you can't walk up to me and say, Sherry, God told me to bless you with 4 hours of studio time? You know that person sings. You know that person has a vision, dream. That's what they want to do, but they haven't got the access. But you do. So are you a hater and you won't offer up the love to get that person in the studio so she can heal? So she can get that song out of her? So she can get that book out of her? Who are you going to be in that person's life that when they come to you and they got a gift? Who are you going to be? Are you going to be that person that says boastful? So you can brag about everything, but you don't help nobody. You can brag you got so much, but you still need help. Oh, I got millions, honey. We got plenty, but when it comes time to do something for the church, you still need the church's check, but you're a millionaire. I'm confused. If you're a millionaire, why do you need the church to pay for it? If you're a millionaire, because if you're a millionaire, how come nobody in the church have received anything from you? How come you ain't walked up with nobody and gave nobody no $1,000? How come you ain't went and bought no car and just went to your church and said at the end of service, anybody don't have no car, come forth? How come you saw the person that's been riding the church van for 3 years? You're a millionaire. You can't buy nobody on the van that's been riding the van for 3 years. You can't buy them a car. So I don't have any value in people boasting on what they got and whatever, because at the end of the day, what have you done with what you got? And quit asking the people of the church to help you if you're a millionaire. Because if you sow in seeds, you'll never run out. God says, can you live off the 10 and give up the 90? I said, well, God, I want to be a millionaire. So God said, if I make you a millionaire, can you live off the 10 and give up the 90? You know what I told God? I would gladly live off the 10, because you know that right there is $100,000 a year. I don't make $100,000 a year. See, I'm smart. I got to have a discernment. You got to listen to what God is saying. He says, if I make you a millionaire, write down how much you want to make. So if I say I want to make $5 million a year, God, for the kingdom. If I live off the 10%, then that's $500,000 a year. Do any of y'all make $500,000 a year? So I'd rather live off the 10 so I can have the 500,000, because living off the 90 show ain't produced $500,000 a year. So God is saying, where is your truth? Because if you want to live off your truth and live off the 10, your reward will be so much greater, because people will look at the devil on this side and be like, girl, I couldn't live off the 10. How come you couldn't? Because if you told God your petition and you wanted $5 million a year, then that means the 10% is $500,000 a year, meaning your cup never runneth over. You giving away 90% of everything you got. So you are never going to run out, because you keep giving. And then you keep getting $500,000 a year, because at a minimum you making $5 a year. So if he doubles and give you 100-fold, next year you ain't gonna make 5. You're gonna make 50. And then you get 10% of that 50,000. I mean that money, that 500,000. You got to look at of that million. God is saying, if I give you 50 million and you live off 10% of that, I'm gonna keep your overflow going because of your desires of your heart. So if you giving away 90, that means more people are rich like you. Won't be people running around here poor, because if you're giving away 90% every year and it's overflowing and coming back, nobody should be poor in your neighborhood. Nobody. Because you're giving it away. You paying people's houses off. You paying people's debts off. You doing stuff because it's not coming back from them to you. It's coming back from you, from God. So God gonna give it to you. You blessing people. You never gonna run out. So God is saying, don't pick and choose what part of the Bible you want to live by and then not choose the other parts. You can't say I'm a be truthful, and and if I can't give it to them, I can't. Well, be truthful all the time, because they lied to get it and you lying so they don't get it. So both of y'all are caught up in a lie. And God said that's got to end in 2023. Tell your truth. Yeah, I got 20. Yeah, I got 100. Yeah, I got 1,000. Well, can I borrow 500? Your answer should be no, because you are not a borrower. I don't borrow money to people. I don't loan money to people, because that means it's got to come back. So God is saying in your discernment, if you want it back, don't give it to him. Does that make sense? If you need that $100 back, don't give it away. Because now you out of order. You now have become the lender. And I don't want it back. So if I give it to you, it's got to come from my heart because I know that I gave it to you. God gonna double it. He gonna give me 100-fold. People say, what is 100-fold? Well, 100-fold is 100 times what I gave you. People say there's 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. Nobody ever told you what the fold was. What is a fold? People just look at a fold like, you talking about a fold where I just fold a piece of paper. I just fold the dollar. What is a fold? That's what people would say. What is a fold? Like, what is 100-fold? I'm going to get 30-fold back. Well, 30-fold means 30 times what you gave them. So if I gave you 100, then that means I don't want you to give it to me. God's about to give me 30 times that 100 that I gave you. It's coming. So here you have that 100. God bless you, because I'm getting mine. It's coming back. And that's what I walk on. That's the truth. 100-fold mean 100 times what I gave you. So if I gave you $10, I'm trusting God that giving you that 10, that I live 100-fold life, he gonna give me 100 times that $10. And it's coming. And he says, if you will heal my people, to tell them that as long as they look at this word and they unforgiving, they don't want to forgive nobody. You still holding grudges from 1987? God says, I can't bless you. I can't do nothing because your mindset is still at 87. I need you to catch up. And by getting rid of some of these people, slanderous, people talk about everybody. If they talking about them, don't you know they talking about you?
Yep.
If you can bring me Brenda's business, you can show believe that when Brenda ain't around, you bringing Sherry business to somebody too. We think we cool, but no, you can't talk to me about somebody and think that you ain't talking about me too. Just ain't happening. So God says, remind them if they conceited, bragging, treacherous, lovers of pleasure. So that's those people that love to have sex and don't want to get married. So you enjoy the feeling of it, the benefit of it, but you don't have no benefits. You ain't got no honor, and you ain't repenting. So you are caught up in pleasure rather than lovers of God. So you rather fornicate and burn because you don't want to change your mindset because it just feels good. That ain't enough for me. I don't want to burn. I'm like, I don't even like to get my hand burnt by the curling iron. I can imagine hell. Like, oh, I ain't trying to burn like that. So God says when we look at Esther today, Esther, the history of her is Esther takes place during the period of time between the separate returns of Jerusalem. And after 70 years of captivity, about 50,000 Israelites returned to their homeland. Now, what you need to understand about her was Ruth and Esther are the only books of the Bible named after women. Pretty powerful, too. But we have much more significance than that. And also, Ruth was a Gentile woman who marries a Jew. So one thing we want to understand is that the Jewish heritage was always a secret, okay? And the chosen queen demoted the same position. So at the same time, God is saying that in our beauty, in our providence, God has blessed Esther with much outward physical beauty, but it is the beauty of her heart that sets her apart from the providence of God to be shown. It is not by chance that this Jewish girl rises from total obscurity to become the queen of the most powerful empire of the world. The name of God does not appear once in the book of Esther, but God's providential care and leading are not denied. So what you have to understand is she became queen. Haman plots to destroy the Jews. Mordecai is honored and the Jews triumph. But it was only because Esther knew how to present herself. She knew she had to fast. She knew that she was out of the covenant as far as being an Israelite and a Jew. So she knew that in order to bring them together, she was going to fast and she was going to pray. She was going to set herself apart. She was not going to be like those people in 2 Timothy and 3 who gossiped, slanderous, said all these things. She could not get caught up in that. So she knew how to go present herself to the king. And that's what allowed the win that happened. God may have bigger plans for our lives than we have for ourselves. God may put us into positions of leadership or influence so we can more thoroughly accomplish his purposes. God answers prayer and fasting by enabling us to overcome our human obstacles. God provides for his own. God uses ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. God at times may have to discipline us, but he will never abandon us. So God is saying today, the devil is asking for your life every day. What are you asking God for? Are you asking for your life? Are you asking for his covenant? Are you asking for his promises? Are you asking to be the lender and not the borrower? What are you asking him for? Because he will honor it, because the devil knows the Bible. The devil knows it all. He was God's right-hand man. So at the end of the day, when you say, well, why is the devil so adamant at just harming everybody? Well, you got to remember he was kicked out of heaven before grace and mercy. So there's no blood on his life. There is no coming back, because he got kicked out before Jesus was even on the scene. So he don't have any grace. We don't have to give him none. And that's all God is saying. But you get it. So he don't like you, because you get to mess up and fess up. Mess up, fess up. He messed up and got kicked out. Can you imagine the first time we messed up, that God just kick us on out? We can never get it right over one mistake. But we get mercy and grace. So he says, I want you to share with my people and let them know tonight. I want y'all to read Esther. Esther is, let's see how many chapters Esther is. Esther is only 9 chapters, and 9 is divine completion in the Bible. And as you read Esther, as we deal with women in the Bible, as I said, we got this book here called The Women in the Bible. And Ollie's, I thank Ollie's so much. They got this book for $6.99. And you can go in there and it's going to give you all 450 women in the Bible that you don't even know about. You know Mary and Mary Magdalene, and you know Ruth and Naomi. There's names we know. But there's so many women in here you don't know. And I want you to find out who they are. But you need this book, 450 of them. And then some women, because of their infirmities or issues in life, they don't even have a name. Their situation became their name. And that's what we're doing to people today. We're looking at their downfall of what happened to them in their teenage years, and they lost their path. And you are holding that against them their whole life. Some of you men out there, there's some really good women out here that messed up back in the day. We got with the wrong one. Okay, we had kids. You don't like the daddy. It is what it is. But you're going to still hold not liking that woman or being with somebody that you may have had your heart for a long time, but you holding somebody's past against them. God don't hold it against you. So he's saying today, you're going to have to let go and let it be God that changes your life. And I'm just grateful to the women that I come in contact with on a daily basis. Like I told you about Miss Brenda, we met a year ago. She was on my TV show, and it's actually going to air. We was going to air it this Wednesday, but someone at the station there, they lost their mom. And I cannot imagine how that is, because I still have mine. But there was grace and honor that had to be given to him, because he wasn't thinking about no show when your mama dies, and I get it. And so I just left a message that it'll air this coming Wednesday. So we will air Miss Brenda, your interview that we did that talks about those books and show everybody. But then this particular show, we're going to put on Kingdom Purpose TV as well. So this interview and this conference we're doing is going to end up on Kingdom Purpose Radio. But what I would like to say is, for each of you ladies, we are going to be closing out. And as we all speak in closing out, we're going to let everybody know where they can find you on Facebook, because tomorrow is the pajama party. So everybody come in your pajamas, because tomorrow we're going to be learning about Amazon. I'm going to have a shared screen. And those of you all that want to learn how to publish a book, we're going to give you some tools that you can use to get published. But then we're going to spend 1 hour where you're going to go in and you can donate and purchase books. And you can also send a book. If you are an author, send your book to the Souls Right House, because we're going to be sending books to the Annex Prison this coming March. And we're going to let everybody know how many books that we need, because the Annex Prison, we have a program called Books Behind Bars. And we want to get books, all kind of books to inmates, because they do get the Bible. They do get good teachers. They get people coming in, and they get people singing and all of that. But what happens is, if people really don't have a heart for Christ, they can get out of those pods and sign up for all classes all day. But if God ain't in their heart, they didn't go to the class to let God get in their heart. They went to these classes and all this singing to get out of the pod. They trying to get out of the trouble and the gangs and the things that are going on that they fear. So sometimes they come out of prison madder at God than when they went in, because of the things that happened to them while they were in there. And God is saying, those things, I can't stop them from happening if you really ain't seeking me. If you just need to come in here just for some time to get away from them, you really got to seek me. And that's what God is saying. So we're going to be asking people to submit your books to us so that we can get these books to inmates. Every last one of us on this conference tonight, we're all authors. So what I would like for you to do is to let everybody know how they can contact you on Facebook, which your names are down here on the screen, and Alicia Willis, yours is there. But people can contact us tonight by going to our Facebook page or also Amazon. You can take each author's name and find their books. All you have to do is go to Amazon and type in our names and the titles of these books. So what I'm going to do is have Alicia, I'm going to have you to go first. And the name of your book, Belize Children Just in Time. It's a powerful story of what she shared. And that's what the cover looks like, her and her daughter. And that's her manuscript. And what is so honorable is, Alicia, if you'll just share with everybody where they can find your book and the name. And then we'll be back into the space again tomorrow. So just share everybody as we close up, just your remarks tonight about healing. And then we'll go to Brenda and then Letitia.
All you have to do is go to Amazon.com and you will find my name. Of course, it is Alicia, Alicia Willis. Please don't forget. Always put in my name first. And when you do, you will go down until you find my name and you will see this picture. Once you see this picture, you got me. And you will find a book there that is going to have 74 pages. Oh, yes, 74 pages. And don't forget, there's a lot of fun stuff there, too, that all of you all are going to enjoy. And you will find my contact in there for you to contact me if you ever want me to customize your jewelry. And it's called, again, Belize Children Rescue Just in Time. The purpose for that is because I was brought here, my sister was brought here, and my other 3 brothers was also brought to America from Central America, Belize.
And how would you say your stay in America? Do you love America?
Yes, and I can't wait till I get my citizenship because America saved my life.
Amen.
Oh, of course, I don't know why everybody's going to say, oh, America is so, I don't know if I like it. Well, you know what? It is different. But as much as everybody asks me, why did you come to America? Let how you what? God had blessed me to come to America, and I never thought I would come here. But yes, of course, if you want to go and visit Belize, go right ahead and visit Belize because it is also paradise.
Yes, it is. I heard the water is blue. And it's like a $500 round trip. So it's like, we might want to put a girls trip together next year and be like, hey, y'all, we going to Belize.
Also, as you can see, in this picture, I was blessed with my other little girl. And her name is Miracle Faith Baker. And she was an amazing child with so much love to keep me going. Just like my first daughter, with both of them, I don't know what I could do. But
So
I
here
am
you are.
here enjoying life and proud of having 2 beautiful daughters. Sorry, my oldest daughter is not in this picture, but you will find her inside the book.
Inside the book. So, Alicia, I just first wanted to say thank you. It has been such an honor being in your life, you and your daughter. Come here, little Miracle. She's actually here in the room. We're going to bring her onto the space right here. Come here, little Miracle. This is her daughter, Miracle. And she's such a beautiful little girl. And look how long. Hold on. I want her to stand down. I want you to see how long this little mama's hair is. Turn around behind. I want you to see her hair is so beautiful. But she has really long hair. And turn around behind. Look at this hair, y'all. Woo! All this hair. I'm like, good God Almighty. She looked like Sarah in the Bible. I'm like, girl, you got hair like the women in the Bible. Rapunzel. But yeah, this is my little mama. I really love her. And I'm very proud of her. Her mama is teaching her how to make jewelry. And it is such a blessing. So now, Miss Brenda, if you will let everybody know, once again, I have our names going across the screen. And you can find our books on Amazon. And if you will just let everybody know your closing and let everybody know again who you are, where they can find your book, and a message you want to leave with everybody today.
Okay, so my books are on Amazon website. And if you go to my website, it's BrendaBurtonMinistry.com.
So Brenda Burton Ministries.com. Ministry. Okay.
Yeah.
Ministry. Okay. That.
And if you purchase the book, I encourage you to go on Amazon and leave a review. But this is
This
my
is my
beautiful daughter.
Oh,
Um,
she's beautiful.
Yes, this is my daughter. He's a father to the fatherless.
Wow.
Yes,
The father to the fatherless. So your books are the father to the father to the fathers, which is so powerful. Those of you all who don't have a father in your life, you do have a father in your life, and that's what they're saying. And her books are amazing. So continue on.
And then this one, I'm trying to put it on here, but show it.
Probably with that virtual background, it is probably gonna. It's the virtual camera. Yeah. So that's what. So if you take the virtual thing off, then it'll probably show it.
Okay, let me take that off.
Okay. Yay. Oh, that living room so fly. Lord have mercy. All right, now we're gonna be able to see it. Hey,
So this
hey, y'all, we wasn't lying about our background for real. We was just, you know what I'm saying. Look how beautiful she is. Jealous sisters. Yes.
And this one is my mystery. His dark side.
His dark side. I like that. Oh my God, Miss Brenda. His dark side.
And this one is my first book.
Say it. That's the song, the jingle that I did.
Yeah.
Say it till you see it. Hey.
And this is also my CD.
CD, that's what I got. I love it, Miss Brenda. You have a beautiful voice.
Oh no, I wasn't singing.
Oh, it wasn't you singing?
No, I just
So you Millie Vanilli me, girl? Yeah, it tells you that it ain't you. I ain't even read. See, look at me, girl. Say it till you see it. Well, I got to see it till I say it. Okay? Be like, look here, girl. Smack. Didn't even read the CD cover. I just put it in. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. But now that God say read, y'all better make sure you read. But yeah, so what is a message you want to leave with everybody today? We loved your testimony. It was so powerful. And I'm blessed to know, first of all, I met a woman that waited 11 years on her Boaz. At the end of the day, God put a purpose in your life, and you went forth and went you put your kids first. You put you first and put your kids first, and it became about your life instead of trying to pursue a relationship. And in pursuing your life, it brought the relationship. So I just thank you for being able to be humble and sustain yourself, because it gives women like me an opportunity to say, girl, don't be biting the bullet. God knows exactly what you need. He is not going to bring something to you that's not going to fulfill you. So quit acting like you got to test the waters. And all y'all out there, we think we got to test the waters and be with you for 5 years before you decide you're going to marry somebody. And at that time, you can lose your life and burn in hell for the rest of your life if you don't repent and turn back. So what is the message you want to leave with everybody tonight?
So one thing I want to leave, when God blessed my place, I told the promise, so I would say that if you make a promise, please fulfill your promise.
Fulfill the promise.
Because I mean, you don't have to do it. You know, he does. But if you're gonna tell him that you're going to do something, do it. And trust God. Trust God. I trust him. It was hard. I'm not telling you it was hard. But through it all, he blessed.
You got the result you were after.
Yes.
You didn't see it coming, but to say when you don't see it coming, that's when you know it is from God, because you had no control.
Yes.
Amen. So Letitia, girlfriend, like I said, we can't wait, girl, to share our shit. It's been so hard, not even going into my testimony. It's so hard. But but it's so amazing because your story is so powerful tomorrow. And those of you all that have lost a child, we ask you to make sure you tune in on Sunday. Even you, Alicia and Brenda, if y'all available to come back into the space, we want you to come back in for the support, because losing a child is not easy at all, and especially two. Because you do go on this path and this mindset, and you don't really know what to believe anymore, because you don't think your father would allow something like it to happen. But he does things to allow it to happen, because once again, the devil is asking for things over your life daily. But you got to counteract everything he asking for. You got to come back with two. If he asking for one thing, you got to ask God for two, because God is saying you got to out ask that devil, because ultimately he's going to win. If he keep asking for things and you're not honoring God, you keep falling and falling short and ignoring the promises, like you said, Miss Brenda, you promise God this and promise God that. You be in jail, and God, if I get out, I'm gonna serve you. I'm gonna go to the choir. I'm gonna go to church. Then you get out and you don't do it. You go to the clubs. You go back selling. You go back to not taking care of your kids. You go against everything that you went and promised God you was gonna do when you get out. So God is saying in this season, be your truth. Tell your truth. Be your truth. Live your truth. Because the truth is what sets you free. Lies don't set you free. Robbing people don't set you free. It gets you locked up. So the teacher shared with us as we close tonight what this has meant to you, being that we've been on the outside looking in and hearing these stories, and what you would like to leave with everybody tonight as we continue She Will Heal.
Okay. First, it's a pleasure meeting you all the way from Miss.
Yes, Miss Brenda.
And Miss Alicia was a powerful as well. This is my book. Amazon is good.
Yes.
It's the story of Dorothy. I'll be sharing my testimony on Sunday. And so this what I got to other women is about marriage. Like I said, I didn't want to get married. Firstly, I've been in a relationship that I was in. But to have someone to come into my life and to love feeling that he didn't have. So he took my family of 10 plus myself. And trust us are here. And so, I made a part of this. No, and I wouldn't have what.
So, and then in reference to the ladies that meet, share with everybody again. I'm going to put this in for everybody so they know it is called Beautiful Brown Girls.
Yes. And so we on Facebook on the Beautiful Brown Girls group. It's the nice chapter. And we meet once a month. The ladies that lead is Keita Westfield and Keandra Ray. And so we would love ladies that want to join. Feel free to come out and have a membership. I believe it's $25 to join. But once you come up at one time, I'm just going to go have something to do. But it's a fellowship where a woman can get her time. So my kids, that's mama's house. I get to go and I'm just like, don't bother me. 12 so next Saturday, tonight. So I'm just like, this is my time. This is my time I get to with my girls. We cry, whatever. It's a great opportunity.
Well, it's blessing me. Me and my girl, we're going to show up this coming Saturday. We're going to come. We're going to be the first. That'll be our first time coming. Those of y'all, you can also look up Keandra Ragland on Facebook. But Beautiful Brown Girls is there. And I released my book, The Root of My Pain, which is the outline of the conference book that you got. The Root of My Pain. That's what my message will be coming from on Sunday, where I will share the losing the death of my 2 children and how God said, in my life, I had to lose in order to win. So some of y'all are going to be in a losing season because it counteracts with a winning season. And when you go back and read 2 Timothy 3, it explains why we are in a situation to where God is doing a blessed thing in our life. And we just want God to know we trust him. We believe in him. We know that you are not going to put anything on us that we cannot handle. It sometimes feels like sometimes things are put on us and we can't handle it. But God is saying in this season, we can. And if we just trust him, like the song says, do you love him? God wants to know, do you really truly love him? And if you really truly love him, then you're going to trust him and you're going to believe in him. So I'm thanking everybody for coming into the space. And then we are going to close out with Do You Love Him, Dog? And we'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. for the slumber party. Get your book on, y'all. Bye, everybody. And thank you all so much for being a part of She Will Heal. Bye, everybody.
Tell me you love him. Get it, girl. Tell me you love him. 'Cause he wants to know. you. Purchase your tracks today. No matter what you going through, he'll be there for you. You. He'll be there when you call him, and he will be there if you trust him. Just call his name, Yahweh. Tell him you love him. He wants to know. Tell me do you love him? Say so. Tell me do you love him? 'Cause he wants to know. Tell me do you love him? Then say so. No matter what you did last night. Easy music. You never ever had a God's sight. He'll be there if you call him, and he will be there if you trust him. Just call on Yahweh. Call on him. He wants to know. Tell me do you love him? Then say so. Tell me do you love him? Will you trust him? Purchase your tracks today. Do you love him? Do you trust him? Will you let him in your life? Do you love him? He wants to know. Tell me do you love him? Then say so. He wants to know. Do you love him? Do you love him? 'Cause he wants to know. Do you trust him? Would you